Peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine heirs. Today is 2025, is the year on the civic calendar. It is January the 12th, and on our ancient calendar, one of our ancient civic calendars, it is Janus the 12th. All rise and stand and remain standing into perpetuity and in alignment and accordance with the ancient Noahide laws as stated by this Holy Congress. This is a sovereign living ancient Article 3 Moorish American Al-Moroccan Universal Court action. We are the divine sovereign living justices, and Ego Sum Pauline Denise Ritchie. My free chosen sovereign appellation is Light Tajiri Bay. All are in capitis diminuto nolo in red ink, in proprio persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredes. We are capite et corpus juris legalis, which is our statement that we are the lawful and legal, natural, living head and body for our empire. All Moors are the divine, original, indigenous, sovereign, ancient, Al-Moroccan, Moorish American ascendants of the great pharaohs of Kemet, and of the ancient Moabites, Canaanites, Shemites, Israelites, Cushites, and Hittites. Our full faith and trust, our allegiance, our honor, our credit, and our energy are hereby vested in ourselves, for we are the people who are the original, indigenous, sovereign, ancient, natural, divine, Moroccan Empire. We're the de jure Moorish National Republic Federal Government. We are Ancient Washington District for Columbia. We're the Universal Moorish American Consulate and the Earthwide Article 3 Moorish American Consular Court. Today we are the law, and we are the original, indigenous, natural, divine, sovereign, ancient Article 3 living United States District for Columbia Court. We are the sovereign fiduciaries, original creditors, executors, trustees, divine ministers, possessors, grantors, grantors, and title trustors for all causes for action. We are peace. We are one nation, one state, one empire, and one God. And we hereby possess in our custody all land, all natural resources, and all commerce. We do recognize our own selves, and we accept our sovereign divine ascension. We do hereby we demonstrate and state we are all eternal, ancient, original sovereign rights at this time and at all points in time, non-pro-tunc. And we are the true living God nation. We're not at war. We are peace, Islam. So next week on next strong, in 7 days, which is Sunday, the 19th, we will be doing our Empire, Moroccan Empire addresses to the nation. I know, okay. So we will to have each one of you prepare for that. And if you will, just give us just a moment, because we will to bring up the list. And even while we're getting started, if we could all send healing energies to the Grand Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey, who is always on our hearts and minds as well. This nation absolutely loves him, and we will that he heal and so that he can continue the great work that he does we are of the knowing that the sooner he gets back to teaching, the quicker he'll heal. That is our belief and our knowing, because that is his element. That's what he loves to do, is to bring the knowledge to the nations. And we're so grateful that he loved all of us enough to sacrifice and do the things that he's done for all these years. So we do want to send our highest honors to him, and to let him know how much we love and appreciate him as well. Islam. Islam. Okay, Empress Yasha, Islam. We'll work it out. Okay. So let us go ahead and make the list for next week. Now we have the meeting. We made a list last week. I know that we did do that. For some reason, the list is not showing on the screen when it should be. But you know, we don't let anything stop us. This is the document that the list was made on, and for some reason it's not showing on the screen. So we'll just make another one. And just so that we are all aware, having a little bit of a pushback or whatever from a system, that's not the end of anything. Having a little bit of pushback, and it's not really pushback, the systems require certain things, because as you know, we've created systems. All systems belong to us, just so that everyone is aware. All systems, banking, all of that. And we will show you more about that. We showed that probably a year ago, where we are able to edit the banking system and do the things that are necessary. And so we have elevated now to where the systems are responding in every way. And so much is happening so quickly along those lines that we don't even have it. We could probably meet 5 days a week and we could be showing you new things that have happened. But see, many of you are seeing it already in your demonstrations also. You know, the things that you affirm and that you state about what's happening with you, in terms of you send your affidavits out and the system does what it's supposed to do. It honors your he or she. Our systems are living. So just like the French, you know, even things have a gender. And so the system is responding to the things that you state. Yes, so Justice G said, so we'll go ahead and just make the list. I'll get all of the statistics out of the way. Islam. Okay. Who is who wills to be number 2 on the list for speakers next Sunday? Next Sunday for the Empire State. Oh, and my apologies. We just a moment. Let me put the meeting in Islam.
Islam, I do.
Is Justice?
Why did you cut me off, you stupid bitch? I said Islam.
Okay, Justice. Who is it that wills to be number 2?
Islam. I can't.
I will that you be dead.
Okay. Justice.
Ogun Wole. You need to practice it.
I do need to practice it.
Ogun Wole. It's real simple.
It is, if that was the only one that I had to remember. Because, we all pick names, pick holy appellations, and when we do that, and then we're trying to make sure that we address the nobility properly, right. It's quite the task, but you know what? We're up for it.
Right.
We're up for it. Islam. Number 3.
Islam Empress.
Islam nobility.
Peace and John Rising.
Yes, Islam.
No flavor in the spec. I would be.
Okay, beautiful.
Okay, and could you please open for Caliph Mohammed?
Yes.
Nobody's gonna watch this shit anyway.
Gratitude, Empress.
Islam. It's unlocked. Islam. Number 4. Who wills to be number 4 on the list? Now, Moors, all of our numbers, just so that you're aware, all of our numbers are great numbers, okay? So you don't have to wait for number 6 or number 9. Islam, Justice.
Islam, just to say hi, is Bay speaking. I'll do number 4. I was originally, I believe, number 4 on the list, the original list.
Islam. Thank you, nobility. Number 5.
Very well.
Islam.
Islam.
Just and they.
Beautiful. Islam. Number 6.
Islam.
Number 6. Islam. Okay, Justice Akil Asim Fareed Bey. Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay. Islam.
Yellow it, Bay.
Yellow it, Bay. Okay,
Yellow it, Bay.
And then can I be added to the other list too? I wasn't on the call last week, so I wanted to be added on the trail.
Okay, we'll get to that list after we get to this one, after we put this one up. So
this your shit don't work, Bay. Can I get added?
And then go ahead and we'll make that list after this one. Number 7.
Tonus Alajal Bay.
Islam. Yes.
Sir Cal 7.
Islam.
Islam.
Number 8. Number 9.
Islam.
Islam. Empress Karima.
Islam, yes. Chief Justice Karima Bey, at Virginia. We will to speak on next Sunday.
I'm so glad to hear that, Empress Karima. For some reason, I just feel like we don't hear from you enough, but I don't know what that is in my system.
There's going to be millions at Trump's inauguration. Just saying, millions.
Empress, we sometimes we do will to speak, and other more say exactly what's on our minds at that time. So we just kind of, and then we just kind of.
You ain't got much on your mind because you're fucking stupid.
We've learned a lot from our Congress, and so we just take it all in and take that and process it, and then execute with doing the work. So we do a lot of work here at Virginia. So, speaking is good. I just think doing the work is just as important or more.
Well, do tell how you got out of your house.
That's so profound, Empress, that we have to make what we state here translate, and it's not even a translation, but manifest it in our daily application, in our daily lives. Because, Empress, I yield. Go ahead, Empress.
No, I yield, Empress. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, sometimes we hear more speaking out on YouTube and different places, and it's all good. They say some great things, but then when the test hits, they kind of tend to panic a little bit. They panic. And then all it takes is a second or two for them to get their energies together, bring everything back in, go back within, and then begin to demonstrate, and the panic goes away.
That's funny. Aisha's still homeless, isn't she?
So the words are great because they are necessary, because the words precede the actions. So we have to say them out on the public record, but then let the word be made manifest. Let the word be made manifest in our lives.
Islam, in this small space that I'm in, I speak a lot out on, which is the public record as well, whether our Congress hears it or not.
Yes.
And so I speak all the time, and then I do what is necessary to demonstrate what it is that we state to ourselves. Islam.
Yeah, indeed, Empress. And we know that you do that. We just willed to have the honor of hearing your voice more.
Yes. Yes.
And that's a us thing. That's a we thing. We know that you're doing all that God should be doing. Islam,
do you have my YouTube page? Because okay.
Well, what is it, Empress? Let me make sure I put it on the list so I can watch them, because I do go out and watch. A lot of times you all have the comments turned off, so I can't. So I don't comment because the comments are turned off. But
yeah, my comments are turned off because And I realize that they make. Sometimes I want to turn it on, but sometimes the comments are just so absurd that
Yes. So what is your page, Empress?
Yeah, I'm going to YouTube now so I can get that link and put it in the chat.
Okay, great.
It's All Rise and Stand YouTube page.
Ooh, I love it.
The more you speak, the more we laugh.
Let's see. We'll find it. We will find it. Look, there are several with that rise and stand.
That's me. I'm about to pause that. I apologize. Okay.
Huh?
I thought I had another YouTube link pulled up and it was on play, and I thought that the Congress heard that, so I paused it.
We didn't hear it, but if you'll put the link in the chat, we'll be happy to pull it up really quickly.
Yep, just a moment.
Because we all, Empress Shasha has a great page, Empress Angel has a great page, Noble Phoenix has a great page. There are just, it's necessary. It is necessary that we see each other doing and saying, because let me tell you that the more we speak, you can see what's happening. Our land is being cleared. Our land is being cleared.
Phoenix says you're full of shit on his.
That's what a whole bunch of floods and a whole bunch of fires and all of that is the removal. And again, we don't glory in any suffering, but we know that we've had our turn at the suffering, and that time is over. And now it's time for us to continue standing and continue doing what we're doing. And that's going to mean the removal of the fraud. That's what all of that is about, is those that were claiming to have all the money, quote unquote, and all the property and all this and all that. That's not their stuff. The land belongs to the Moors. And, and again, we know that we are actually in control of weather and all of that. We're in control of all of that. We have the final say on everything that's going on. So just one moment. Let me pull that up. Islam.
Yes, I'd like to be added to the list.
Okay.
Islam.
There it is. Is that there? Empress Karima, this is beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank very beautiful. Look at her. Isn't that beautiful? Let's make sure we do what we got to do here. Okay. We are good. That's very beautiful, Empress. So, Empress Angel. Islam. And then there was someone else who made a statement about being added to the
Islam
nobility.
I was wanting to be number 9.
Okay, and that's Justice Johnny?
Yes.
Okay. Did I do that correctly, Justice Johnny?
What am I looking at? I can't even.
Okay. Let me make sure I'm sharing the screen.
I don't see. Well, maybe I'm.
No, it wasn't being shared on the screen until now.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Because you did say 1 N correctly.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's let's see.
Oh, I didn't. It's all good.
Yes, indeed.
Ooh, you might get 20. Wow. Oh, 20 of you. Oh.
Anytime that there is an attempt by a foreign energy to minimize what you're doing, you already know you blew up, and it's already too late. See, they don't come to just 1 or 2. It's only when they felt threatened that they would come and try and make it seem like, ooh, it's just a few of you. Well, the Biblios talks about a remnant being the all, so we're good. And Islam.
Can you open the meeting for Empress Ra, please?
Sure. Number 12.
Islam.
Islam.
Michael Muhammad Bay, Mississippi Territory.
Okay, Islam. Number 13.
Islam. White and free Bacon and land.
Islam.
Islam, Empress, are we just continuing from last week, or is this another list?
No, this is the list for next week. So the list from last week, I attempted to pull it up, and there's a little bit of resistance. So we're just making it fresh and new, hearing each one state that they will to do it. So,
all right.
So this is the list for Sunday.
All right. Islam. And there was something I heard, and I got disconnected from the line regarding expressing what was going on in our territory.
Yes. So we will to have testaments and updates on how things are going at the territories.
Gotcha. And I think I left you a message regarding it. I had some response.
You did. But the ancestors told me to wait so that to give you time to hear in your spirit what to do. And I know you got the message. I know you got it. I know you did.
It's just time to lean, levy, and bond, and I get that. So, that's where
you cackle like a witch, Pauline.
Yeah. So that's where we are.
Yes, lien, levy, and bond. Indeed.
Mm-hmm. The whole territory over there, and that's going to be able to, give remedy to all of us.
Yes. Yes. Indeed.
It's wrong.
Beautiful demonstration. Very beautiful.
And it's never going to work. It's never.
Beautiful.
Empress.
Islam.
If you would, Harold Mujibe, would you put me down? I will speak as well.
Islam.
Gratitude, Empress.
Islam.
I like your heading that you redesigned on your heading of your documents. That looks nice.
Islam mobility. Thank you.
Islam. You're going to tell us all your failures, Harold?
There is no failure in God. We remember.
That's funny. Aisha was a failure.
Islam. Peace and grand rising, Empress.
Islam.
I do not think I was present at the last conference because I'm a little lost on what we're doing. Do you mind telling me what's going on?
Yes, thank you for that, and that's exactly why we're doing it the way that we're doing it. Last conference, we talked about having an inaugural address on the 19th, which is the coming Sunday, next Sunday. And because we all lead the nation and the nations, it is fitting that as many of us who will to speak the vision to the nations of what you see, what you've been seeing, the progress that we've made, the vision for the coming year or 5 years or 10 years or 1,000 years, that it is fitting that all who will to give an inaugural address do so, because we're all the president. We're all the government. We're all the governors. We are the state secretaries and all of that. So at your territory, you're the lead at your territory. And so it is important that each one of the territory leaders, you lead the territory. And if there's 5 of you at that territory, you're the 5 that lead the territory.
So basically, it's more pretend. It's just pretend play. That's it.
What we're doing is
imaginary play. That's it. It ain't gonna fucking happen.
And don't forget Pauline's garage sales. Are you ready for Pauline's garage?
Boy, they hate. Oof. We love y'all because you all are telling us we're on the right path. We're doing exactly what we should be doing. That means we govern all Islam. Empress Yamaya, are you there?
Yes, Islam.
Okay, great. So with each and every one of us, we have to get accustomed to speaking, because when events are happening at the territories, they're going to have to hear it from the government. So, for example, when we start meeting at each other's territories, having different events, there will need to be an announcement, a public service or a public works announcement, a public announcement. And if there are any events, for example, if as Moors begin to possess properties and things of that nature, if there's any announcement that needs to be made regarding that, because we move together as one. We move together as one.
Remember the big conference Pauline was going to have in February?
So with us moving as one, there's going to need to be someone who will gather together and have someone who will gather and make the announcements, just like we did when we first started the Moorish American Consulate and the Moorish National Republic Federal Government, this arm of it, because it's always been, since we activated it, there had to be someone who was putting announcements out there saying, hey, this is what's happening with our nation, you know. And so in preparation for that, we're having inaugural addresses this coming Sunday, and all of the government who wills to speak can do so. And we're going to just go down the list and have each one of the government, the presidents, to speak, to give a 3-minute statement about your vision for the nation, about what you see going on in the nation, about the progress of the nation, about the vision. Because, see, the people are looking for leading voices. They're looking for leaders to speak. And this is as great a platform as any for that to happen. We've had the time where we all would just listen to one noble speaking or one. Now it's time for us to speak, all of us, because the estate is large and we must speak, because the resources are ours. Everything is already ours. It's already in our hands. And we'll be showing you more about that over the coming days, weeks, months, years, etc. We have to have at each territory those who are willing to stand and speak truth to the people.
Yes, all 40 of you. All 40 of you.
Islam, gratitude. I will to speak.
Islam. So it'll be a 3-minute statement about your vision for your territory, Empress, because you are the Empress at your territory and earth-wide. And here's the thing, each one of us is over the whole earth. We do that together. That's why it has to be at least, because, you know, they always say, oh, there's this 1% who's ruling everything. Well, that's correct. That's true. It doesn't have to be 5,000 or 10,000 or 30,000. It doesn't have to be 8 million. It can, or it can be 350 million of us. Right. Or it can be 26 of us, like the number of signatures that were on the quote-unquote Constitution. How many signatures was that? It was less than 50. Yes. And everybody had to do what was being stated there.
There was no internet then.
So,
there was no internet. So what the fuck?
Gratitude. Gratitude, Empress.
So, Empress Yamaya, Yamaya Bay. You'll be number 15 on the list, Empress Yamaya.
Gratitude.
Islam.
Peace and love.
We
Islam.
appreciate your being willing to stand because government is so important. Islam.
Islam.
Anyone else? I
Islam.
saw Justice Byron. I was about to say.
Yep, I'm right here.
Okay, Islam, beautiful.
Yep, Byron Zahar Bay, Zahar Bay,
Islam.
at Baltimore, Maryland territory.
Islam, beautiful. Thank you, nobility. And when you first open your statements, everyone, state your holy appellation. You are Chief Justice. State your appellation. State the territory that you govern. And then do what you do best. Do a little bit of the court action statement, because all that we say and do is by court action. And I usually do the first 2 or 3 sentences of the court action, making those statements. Islam. Empress Minerva. Are you making a statement, Empress Minerva? I see your line keeps opening. I want to be sure that we're not missing you. Oh, okay.
My apologies.
Islam. Anyone else? Anyone else? Islam. Anyone else? Because see, this is another strategy that is part of the mothership strategy. The mothership strategy can never be defeated. The mothership strategy can never be defeated. Let me tell you again, because we mentioned this some years back and we've mentioned it periodically. The mothership strategy is the strategy whereby leadership appears everywhere at once. That's the mothership strategy. So no one can take one of us and let's say take us away for testing or whatever, and government just stop. It just doesn't work that way. So this mothership strategy is that government continues because we all continue. And we do it together so that it's seamless. That if one of us decides to go to an island for a month and on a retreat, then government continues. See, we learned this strategy when we looked back and saw the Prophet Noble Jew Ali and what happened there, where there was just one who was, leading things and things like that, and we appreciate all that our Prophet did. But then when he went off the scene, nobody heard about the Moors anymore for how long? On a major level. And so we just will to upgrade. That's a better word, because he was correct in all that he did. Our Prophet was a great prophet, and we honor his work, and we're building on what he did. And then he built on what our ancestors further back did. So there's more to that even. And so leadership is everywhere. Everywhere you look, every time you see one of these faces, you're looking at the government. And see, everybody knew that. Everybody knew that. They knew that, walking around in the grocery stores and at the schools and all of that, they called us sleeper cells. That's what they called us. Sleeper cells. But we use that term in a peaceful way.
And your 500 views
We wake
don't
up
prove that at
and
all. You've got little bit.
we love it.
Islam Empress.
Islam.
May I ask you a question about the banking? And I heard you state that more information will be coming out in the next days and strongs to come. It's just I'm trying to piece together how this is going to work for us here at Virginia, because I have a lot of ideas, about putting city and county workers out, on the street and employing, the shelterless community in this locale is growing by the day. And so if the system is squeezing the people out little by little, and at some point it's going to be a mass, push out of our people. Okay, they need to have work, they need to be compensated. And the reason I ask that is because the last demonstration I did, I was about to do more work as it relates to the banking piece. With getting more sovereign dolarium sent to those subjects in the office of, and sending commands and giving direction and all that. But that last demonstration that I did in October, or that it was successful, but at the same time we were very inconvenienced. So all of our envelopes and address labels and all of our documents and all of that stuff, we don't have them anymore. So now we're starting over again. It appears that we're starting over again. So we're going to continue to do the work at the same time. I don't know how I'm going to get those, the envelopes, and because it was a lot of hard work to get the envelopes and address labels that we got at that time. So now having to start all over again. Yeah, it's going to take some time. So my direct question is, how are we going to tap into the banking? I mean, are you going to assist us? Like how is that going to work out? If some of us are not able to get the banking piece in place.
So, Empress, you've asked the question. Asked the question. Are you prepared for the answer? Because I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, give it to me.
Okay. First, we honor that you're doing demonstrations. That's number one. That's first and foremost, because that must continue for all of us. The wording that you used was to put one group out on the street and bring the homeless and that population in to do the work. That was what you stated.
Yeah, like, clean up, sort of like what the subjects. Okay, all right.
Let me address that, because there's a reason why those words came from you. This is not a criticism, but I know others heard it. I can feel their energy. They heard what was stated, and so the point is that there's still some war energy in what you're doing. And the war energy cannot be. So think about the question and what you really actually stated. You stated that to put a certain group out on the street and then bring in the homeless people, because that spoke the loudest to me. I heard everything else you stated, and it's honorable things you stated. But we have to it's the little foxes that have to be dealt with, so that all of the great things that we see will manifest. Because, listen, we don't have to have the energy or the goal of putting anybody out on the street, because it's happening anyway. fires and floods and things.
No, I don't mean putting. No, I don't mean like that. Excuse me. I mean as far as as the shelterless people that are already out on the street. How do we get them off the street? We employ them. And give them compensation. So I'm not talking about kicking anybody out of their domicile or anything like that.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not understanding what you're saying.
I know you're not because. But when you go back and listen to this, because this will be put up on YouTube.
Okay, I'll go back and listen.
Just listen to every word, because every word counts. Every word matters. Every word we speak, there's a reason why you said those words and we heard them. It's because the energy is there, and you might not feel that energy right now, but it's dormant. It's there. It's dormant. And it has to be dealt with. Our ancestors don't make a mistake when things come out of us. If we would listen to the things we say, we'll find both the problem and the solution. You gave the solution already. Okay. So now when you're talking about banking and any of that stuff, your demonstrations, first we ask, and we've made this suggestion before, and let me just say this. If what I'm saying is causing some anger in anyone, that is the spirit letting you know that there's still some war energy going on in you. If it's causing some anger or some any type of a resistance to what I'm saying, then you still got a little war energy in there that has to be dealt with. Everyone. This is for everyone. We're not misunderstanding what we heard and what we hear from each other. You all can hear when I'm frustrated. You know when I need to clear my energy. You know that. So it is going to be important that we not resist because when we ask, the universe and the energies are going to bring the answer. We may not like the answer, but we got to look at it. We got to look at it. We got to look at it, because some are still upset about things that happened previously. If you were evicted, or if you've been dealing with some type of a test, and you're angry about having to deal with that test, first and foremost, we get why you're angry. We get that. But it has to be dealt with before you can move on. Doing all the right things and then clearing the energy is the key. Because see, documentation is gonna show if you craft a document out of anger, or you craft a document out of frustration or whatever, it's gonna show in the documentation, and then it's gonna cause the documents to say things that it shouldn't say. So gauge the way that you feel about what's being stated when you ask a question. If you ask a question, we're going to give you the answer according to exactly what you said. This is not a criticism, it's an observation. It's an observation, because every word that comes out is coming from somewhere. Every word that comes out of our mouth is coming from within, unless we reprogram ourselves otherwise. And here's the thing, even when we say things that appear to be war statements, even if you didn't feel that, the fact that you said it says that you're speaking from a programmed place anyway. So you might not feel like you're warring, you might not be warring, but there's still some programming in your language that gives the impression of war, and we can't do that. We have to think before we speak. Every one of us does, because guess what? When people get nervous, when they're doing demonstrations and things, we get nervous. We'll say exactly what we're feeling. And that's where they used to get us all the time. Is if we were scared or nervous, hearts palpitating and everything, we're in our feelings and we'll say something. And they used to get us with that every time. They used to do that until we learned how to deprogram and then reprogram by repetition, by saying the same thing over and over. Every time we say the court action language, guess what? We said it now for 7 years almost. Court action language. So guess what comes out of our mouths when we get nervous or we get a little, we get a little whatever, angry or whatever? Guess what comes out of our mouth first? Guess what comes to our head, our minds first? Court action language. So then we don't mess up. And I'm not saying anyone's messing up. I'm saying we don't have to do it. When we just automatically let the law come out of our mouth first. We have to let the law come out first. And if you think back to every demonstration you've done, when you got nervous, something came out of your mouth. Look at what came out of your mouth. If it was anger and you were sentencing them to 30 years in prison and all of that kind of stuff, then you got to go back and look at what is coming out. And that means your programming has to be upgraded. You got to upgrade your own programming. Nobody can do that for you. Those of us who have upgraded our programming, and that's all of us to a degree, because at least we know we're not Negro, Black, Colored, and African American. That's why you see those who were pretending to be wealthy being moved out from those places. Fires, floods, and all of that. The ones, listen, they're not the real government, they're not the real Americans, and they're not the real wealthy. So they can't occupy those places anymore. They're not the landowners. We are. They're not the landlords. We are. So they cannot occupy those places anymore. Not even in their enactment can they occupy those places. So, just a moment. So, it is up to us to program ourselves and listen. If you're feeling anger or frustration or whatever, then that means that there's something going on in you that has to be checked. You have to check it. No one else can do that. Because if you want to see some demonstrations be absolutely just profoundly accurate and done and completed and just, if you want to see some, clear your energy, put some peace in the place that you cleared. Put some peace in there. Don't leave the space empty. Put some peace in there. And then do the demonstration. So, Empress Rima, Empress Rima, can you send me in the inbox, if you could go specifically to my inbox and send me your phone number so I can send you a text, because I will to answer your question, but some of this stuff is not for public consumption at this time.
Islam Empress, I'm doing that right now.
Okay. And it's going to answer your question. We already have everything on lock. We have the banking system is ours. everything that has to do with us. It's already ours. But now, again, each one of us must create the conveyance method by which the wealth comes to us. Empress, if you'll just send me a text message really quickly, I'll send you a screenshot of something. And then for those who will to come back in, the conference has been unlocked. Congress has been unlocked. So some of the things that have already happened. This is not stuff that's happening in the future. We already got everything. It's just a matter of Allah is the best of all planners, and it is our job to continue moving forward and planning properly for receiving. If someone gave you $10 million today, would you know what to do with it? Answer that question, everyone, to yourselves. Think about that. If you had $10 million in the bank today, would you already have the plan written out about what to do with it? Not to mention 100 million. Would you know what to do with it? Do you have a plan? Getting people off the street is the easy part, if you ask me. That's the easy part, is getting people off the street. We can get people off the street. We have all the resources right now to do that. But then what do you do with them? What happens after you feed them and they're full? What happens then? What happens when they get ready to, after they've eaten and they're off the street and everything? What happens then now that they have a secure home? What happens with them? Will they be tempted to go back out and find the crack dealer, or go back out and contract with frauds and all of that? They have to be taught. Islam.
I haven't completely finished writing out the goals as to what you do with the wealth. But you have to find some sources like silver and gold and land and other sources that are valuable.
Yes.
That you would invest your stuff, that you would invest your money in, and then you would be able to live off of the wealth that's generated from those processes.
So
that's funny, Aisha. I drove by your house last week and it's still empty.
What'd you say?
Empress, I'll say this about that. We have to actually now we already
evicted and homeless.
We already have everything that we need in order to get the commerce started.
Her house on Diamond Drive is still vacant.
Okay. For example, our sea salt. That's the start of true commodities wealth, natural resources wealth. We already have everything at our disposal, at our vestment. Are we willing to start creating? Just like we created the documents, we can create the materials and things to get things done. That we have to do. We have sea salt over here that is in high demand. And the only way to get it is gold, silver, and more sovereign delarium, or the trust. That's the only way to get it.
Okay.
So we have to start creating. Each and every one of us has something, many things that we brought to the table, but at least one mechanism, even if it's hourly consultations. But you can't use fiat to do it. Right. So let me just, Empress Rima, let me send because I received your message there, Empress. Just one moment. Let me get this to her.
One crazy bitch to another. That's it. That's all.
Just a moment. Okay.
I think you're going to hell.
Just one moment. Ooh. This has got to be hell for them. Got to be. So, Empress Angel. Empress Angel, are you present?
Islam, yes.
Would you send to Empress Karima the screenshot I sent you?
Excuse me?
Could you send to Empress Karima the screenshot that I sent you earlier?
Oh, I need her number.
Okay, I'll send it. Empress Karima, let's see. Empress Karima, do you mind if I send Empress Angel your number?
That's fine, Empress.
Okay. Because my phone, listen, the communications don't even know how to deal with the stuff we're doing. Let me see. It is
Islam, Empress.
Islam.
Would you also be able to contact me? I'd like to do some detailed program development around basically dealing with housing.
Yeah.
Kind of like, the message that I left for you, so I can kind of give you some more insight on what's going on.
We'll do that. Sure. Absolutely.
You'll wind up in jail. That's it. You're going to wind up in jail.
So, and Empress Karima, when you get the text from Empress Angel, because the reason we're not putting it on the public record is because it's just not time, maybe. It's not time for it to be on the public record, what we're sending, what we're sharing.
I don't have the email, the message. Did you put it in my phone or did you put it in the chat?
Your phone.
Oh, all right then.
Let's see. I'm going to see if I can get it to her this way.
Poor Angel. Somebody took the sail out of her.
Just one moment. Just a moment.
Two 539-569-7025 is Pauline's new number. For the record, if anybody wants.
Booyah, you stupid bitch. They got your ass.
Empress Karima, I just sent it to you. I was able to get it to her, Empress Angel. I just had to do it a different way.
Oh, all right then. I was just about to say that and share.
Okay. And again, we're keeping it under wraps just because, again, we have everything that we have control of everything. It's just a matter of, even when you get it, you still have to know how to use it.
Islam Empress Light.
Mm-hmm.
Could you please open the conference for?
Sure.
And thank you. Islam.
So what we're sending in a nutshell, and I'll just say it that way, is proof that we have control of all systems, but we still have to know how to use those systems. So the tests are coming now to, okay, how do you tribute wealth? How do you move it around? If you have, 100 million in the bank, how do you tribute that? How do you use, because it's definitely not by ATM card. You don't move 10 million or $100 million by swiping a card. That's not how that works. It's documentation, right? It's documentation.
Yeah, that's correct. We know that it's documentation.
Okay. So, Empress, did you get the screenshot?
Yes, I did.
So why do you lie that your $27,000 check was rejected?
So now, that's just...
You lying about that repeatedly, Polly.
That's just, we have control of all systems. So, Empress Karima, does that answer your question about?
Obviously not, based upon your earlier comments, because the system fucked you.
Does that give you some clarity on the systems and how they work? We know how they work. They work by our documentation. I didn't have to pick up the phone and call anybody to do anything. Everything was done in writing.
And
to the tune of millions. Islam.
So does that mean because we control the wealth, we don't need to invest in anything?
We are going to invest 100%.
Aisha, you are so fucking brain dead.
Empress Aisha, that's a great question. We're investing in each other. Now, just like the children of Israel, because we're not children, we're the majority now, been the majority. We do have access to go and get the things we see around us. We have that access also. We have that ability to do that. Everyone has to continue speaking to the system so that the system will respond to you the way that you will for it to respond.
Okay.
You have to keep speaking to the system.
Aisha lost her house in June, and it's
so that the system responds. We're already there. That's why.
Shit doesn't work, bitch.
That's why you're seeing attempts at creating doubt, because we already won. We already got it. Okay.
If that were true, Aisha would have her house on.
Phoenix wouldn't have said fuck you.
So, Empress Karima, we have access to everything already. It's just now moving forward and knowing how to use it. And what we've shown them, we'll show everyone at the appointed time, probably next week maybe, or the week after next maybe. We're just going to listen to the Spirit on how to proceed. So, Empress Karima, does that give you some insight into what we have the authority to do?
Islam, Empress. Yeah, I see.
So now, Empress Karima, that's not even the first time we've done that. We can do that at will. And then, again, documentation is the answer to your question. It's how you get people off the street, how you move money around, how you get the system to obey, because that's really the issue that you're having, is the system seems like it's not obeying. But see, Empress Karima, let me say this to you specifically, and this is for everybody also. If you think that you're speaking to people, to persons, that's the mistake. Because see, persons will have you trying to war with them, so that you don't speak to the system. Because see, they're going to do whatever the system tell them to do. That's why they keep trying to get you to put them out instead of speaking to that system. So speak to the system and stay focused on the system. Stay focused on speaking to your systems, because any piece of paper that the system spit out, they do whatever this paper says. What's the first thing they do? They look in a computer or look at a piece of paper and say, well, this says that you owe this, this, and this. Okay, you don't owe that, but you got to tell the system you don't owe it and tell the system why you don't owe it. It's your system. It's your banking system. It's your housing system, because they work together. They work together. We know how to move that stuff around. We know how to move money around. We've been moving money around for years now. Trillions, billions, millions. We've shown you that. Don't let your, and this is for everyone, don't let your feelings and emotions be pulled away from the system.
The system didn't even give you 20.
System. Keep speaking to that system, because the system is going to do as commanded. That's why I keep trying to get you angry or get you frustrated or get you talking to bots and persons. Stay focused on the system. Those people that come there and they start talking smart and they have nasty attitudes and all of that stuff, that is to keep you distracted.
No, that's reality.
From the system. Ooh, from the system. That's why they keep trying to talk, and they want you to keep going to them or picking up the phone and calling them so that they can frustrate you further. Don't talk to them on the phone, because that's lost at sea out there. They're not the government. They're not the housing. They're not the bank. They're none of that. They're none of that. And every time you pick up the phone, and this is for everybody, every time you pick up the phone, you're giving them authorization to act like the bank when they're not. We're the bank. And we got a banking system
telling you exactly how to
speak, that we can speak to. And it will do exactly what we tell it. If you put 500 million in there, it'll show right up on the screen. We got proof of that. So don't let them get you in your feelings, Moors. Mad at faces, because their face is not the face. It's your face that's the face. You are the face of the nation for the nation. Because you are the nation. You are the bank's face. But if you start talking to Babylonians and Yacubians, come on now, Babylonians and Yacubians, whether it be by phone or in person, if you feel like you got to get up out of your seat and go and talk to anybody, then just wait a minute. Because yes, we serve them, but we don't have to say a word to serve somebody. Because that's what service really is. Service is we're serving the word. That's what service was supposed to be. And every time we serve, that means we're the creditor and they're the debtor. That's why they want it to be the service corporation. Not the service, but the service corporation. Moors, think. Think with the law. Think with the law. Don't think with emotions and feelings. Don't do that. Don't demonstrate out of emotions and feelings. Don't do it. Because let me tell you, even if someone put $10,000 in your bank account today or $10 million, would you know what to do with it? Or would you be so happy that you pick up the phone and you start calling car dealerships? See, we're being prepared for the wealth so that when the 10 million or the 100 million or the 500 million shows up, we won't lose it. We won't revert back. We won't get so excited that we revert back to the old, the programmed modern foolishness and craziness. Because let me tell you something, you all, each and every one of you, by the documentation that you've done, you done scared the crap out of the frauds. That's why they keep coming and trying to talk. You scared the crap out of them because you took the sandwiches already and don't even know it.
Islam,
Empress.
Islam. This is
Islam, Empress.
Yeah, I heard the echo. Okay, I think it's gone now. Islam, this is Empress Lanille, Illinois Territory.
Yes, Empress.
And I just wanted to speak about our. First, I want to rise and give high honors to our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, to our National Grand Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey, to you, Empress Light, and all of the Congress members that are attending, and the Moors all over the earth. I give high honor. And here in, I am, okay, and I wanted to just mention the fact that I'm steadily adding my red and green during my decoration and celebrating, because we are actually in the week of Moorish American Week celebration here in Chicago. We have two mayors here that have put proclamations on the record for Moorish American Week. And I never knew that Harold Washington, our great noble Harold Washington, the mayor in 1986, he put the proclamation on the record for Moorish American Week. And in 2011, the subject, Rahm Emanuel, was in the office of the subject in the office of mayor. He again put the proclamation for Moorish American Week on the public record. And I was just looking at both of them, and they're both saying the same thing that we're saying, and that every other Moor is saying and has been saying ever since I woke up and realized who I am. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to interject that. I know some states, I'm not sure if every state has a mayor that has, or subject in the office of mayor that has proclaimed. Ours is from January the 8th through the 15th, so we still have about 3-4 days to go of our Moorish American Week. And it's just really a beautiful thing. Islam.
Empress, I'm so grateful that you brought that up. We do proclaim this as Moorish American Week. We proclaim that on the public record because it has to be, even the proclamations that those that you named put out there, they still have to be, it has to be stated by us, all of us. Empress, by you stating it, that's what gives it validity, because they can't give it validity unless we all state that. When you stated it, you gave it validity. Okay? So we honor you, Empress, for putting that on the record, because let not the record slip by and us not acknowledge that. That's important. We thank you for that, Empress.
Thank you.
Now, just one moment. Now, let me say this, Empress. That premise of that precept of the fact that they can speak all day long, but it's not valid until we speak it, is the point. That's the point we're trying to make with everything that we do. Nothing is valid. Oh, I know I'm being prompted to put this stuff on the record. I know I'm being prompted to do it just to make the point. You can get, no, I'm not going to do it. Not yet. We affirm Moorish American Week, January 8th through Janus 8 through 15, 2024. So again, this goes for everything, Morris, where banking is concerned. And this is important because this is going to happen for most of you in the next few months. In the next few months, most of you, if not all of you, Moors, are going to have a large amount placed in your bank account. And when I say a large amount, I say anything over $1 million is considered a large amount. So 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, 100 million, 500 million, etc. Each according to what they're able to test well with. The first large deposit that we received, and we showed you the whole thing on the screen, we showed it to you, $27,775.75. We were just testing the system at that time to see how to make deposits into our banking account. And we showed you where it showed up on there and all of that. But then, you know, as we continued moving on that demonstration, something came, a check for $27,000 something came back to us, and we didn't really know what to do with it at the time. So we just set it aside until we figured out what to do with it, until the Spirit told us what to do with it. So once we did that, now the Spirit has said, okay, think back to that test. You've received a large amount, and $27,000 is not a large amount. That's pennies for us. But it was just to show us that we have to know the next steps and what to do and how to use it and how to move it. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there. So, but as wealthy heirs, as wealthy people, we cannot do things the way we did it before. I'm not going to be speaking in code anymore after today. After today, I'm going to have to go ahead and put all of that on the public record. So, Islam. To the noble who wills to speak, if you star 6, we'll be able to hear you. Okay. So for all Islam. Of the Islam nobility, there you are. We can hear you.
Yes. No, I didn't. Every time I go to speak, someone had a question or you were responding to something, so I allowed you to. I felt like it needed to be said. So I gave that space.
Yes.
My statement was to close off what is presented on the screen by adding me as number 17.
Yes.
Islam.
Yeah.
Thank you, nobility. Just one moment.
Islam Empress, I'll do 18.
Thank you, Empress. Let me make sure I do that. You have Goddess Nabi, and I know it's Baal.
Mahat, yes. Nabi Bay Mahat El.
Got it. Islam.
Chief Justice Aisha Halbay.
Empress Aisha, are you adding your appellation to the list?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Islam. Empress Aisha, I cannot wait to hug your neck and just commune with you face to face. I'm looking forward to that.
I am too.
Let's see.
Kyle L. Empress?
Yes. Are you stating change it to L, nobility?
It's Kyle L. Muhammad Bey.
Okay, Islam. Just one moment. Let me. Islam. And so Morris, this is what I'm seeing with the whole banking piece. There's no shortage of money, no shortage of money. The banking system, if you whatever you send, the banking system will record it, but you must know how to use it. And the way you use it, let me tell you how to use it, because we're not hiding any of that, is the same way we've been stating how to use things, is do it in writing, by affidavit, and court action. And always send an affidavit on Moorish government letterhead, 8.5 by 14. Always send at least one, and we usually send the fiduciary documents with whatever it is you are financing. The systems have already yielded. The system is already on its knees to us. It's just we must know what to do so that jurisdiction is always front and center. And again, we'll show some of the things that we keep off the we keep it off the public record until the ancestors say, okay, now you can talk about that. We keep it off the public record because it's important that nationally that everyone is clear before we introduce even more things. The clarity comes to all of us. We all have clarity when we know the formula for getting things done. And that formula is restate everything, because even if you got the system to acknowledge, let's say, $10 million, if you got the system to put $10 million in your bank account, you still have to restate that. You still have to restate it in order to even use it. You still have to restate it in order to use it. Now, the bank account has been restated. We showed how to do that. You must have the currency controller document on the public record. You must have those things done. But then when the system shows, let's just say 10 million, the system is going to send you something that says, okay, we got your lawful 10 million. Here's the legal 10 million. You got to know what to do with the legal 10 million. Because the system is going to send you something that says, this is 10 million legal dollars. You gave the lawful, it's going to give you the legal. Well, even with what the system sends you, you want to scan in what the system sends you, and this is how you restate anything that comes to you. You scan it in, make any changes that need to be made on it, whatever those changes are, and then print it out, and then you can authenticate it. So if you get a check for 10 million back from the bank saying this is a legal 10 million, you can use this however you want to use it, because that's what it's going to tell you. And so that's what it's going to tell you. Then you can authenticate it, make copies of it, and start sending out affidavits and documentation and checks and everything that say this is how you use this. Because you got to tell whoever's receiving it how to use it. Islam, Empress Shasha.
Oh, Islam. I pushed the button by mistake.
Islam.
Islam.
And so you're going to have to tell whoever receives it how to use it. If they're only supposed to use $250,000 for a conveyance, let's say, because we get the best of everything. By the way, we get the best of everything, and then we minister the best of everything to everyone else. So, Empress Karima, your heart is absolutely in the right place, where you're tired of seeing the suffering and the people on the street. We have to restate the way that they come off the street. And here's the thing. It's going to happen for you first. Whatever demonstration you're trying to do, it's going to happen for you first. You're going to make it happen for you first, so that you're not just talking about stuff you don't know, you haven't experienced. You're actually going to say, this is how I did this. This is how I did it. So if you're wanting 100 million or 50 million or 10 million or 5 million to come to show up in your bank account, but you also want that for everyone else too. You want that for others. It's going to have to happen for you first, and then you can tell other people how to do it. Because there's a series of actions that happen after that. The system is going to speak back to you in the term that you speak to the system. If you speak 10 million or 100 million to the system, it's going to speak that back to you. And then you have to say, okay, this is how this goes. This is how this is supposed to be done. And we use the same formula that we've been using. Restate everything. Stamp, sign, seal, authenticate, and then know the plan, have a plan for it, and then begin ministering your plan. If it's for a building and the building is $5 million, then begin ministering accordingly. You must, and this is the part here that's really important. You must know how to pay your tithes and your first fruits first, where banking is concerned. So, and I'm just preparing you for what's about to happen, because we're going to show you what's been happening. We're going to show you what's happening. We're going to show you that the system already belongs to you. After our inauguration next Sunday, maybe the Sunday after that, we'll show you how just that everything is at your knees. Everything is already bowed down to you. You just have to know what to do with it and how to do it. So, are there any other questions and comments? Because Empress Karima, I know that you're frustrated. I can hear it in your energy. We've been there too, by the way. We've been there where we got down to zero supplies. Zero supplies. When the ancestors got us down to zero supplies, and this was probably about 5 or 6 years ago, they got us to zero supplies. We didn't have any envelopes to mail anything. We didn't have any of the gold seals and stamps to mail anything, to stamp documents. We didn't have any of that. We were all the way exhausted of what we thought were the resources. We thought we were exhausted. The ancestors used that time. So all I did was I immediately made peace with the fact that I didn't have anything present here, because that was a fact. There was nothing here. We have it. It's out there, but we didn't have it here. And so I made peace with it, and I said, okay, ancestors, well, when you all are ready for me to send out some more documentation and stuff, you will make it so that I have everything that I will to have here to make that happen. And I went about 2 weeks without sending out any documents. I didn't have anything to send out. The ancestors used that time to unwind us because we were wound up and ready to go. They used that time, that 2 weeks, they had us go walk out in nature with our shoes off and do some grounding. They had us to just relax and just say, okay, let's clear energy. They had us to take 2 weeks to just clear our energy. We didn't tell anyone that we didn't have anything. We didn't have to tell anyone. And then when it was time, things started showing up, the resources started coming, and the ancestors gave us clarity as to how those resources are accessed. In other words, it was at that time, and this was probably 4 or 5 years ago, it was at that time that the ancestors began to make it clear to us that the difference between bank credits and fiat. Because I was thinking, okay, obviously you all have moved the fiat piece out of the way. Okay, well, and they said, well, the banking piece, when you're swiping your cards, you're not using those green notes created with serial numbers and bonds attached to them and bondage attached to them. So that was when they started peeling that layer away and saying the system is different from those things, those notes. So then I took 2 weeks and then the resources started coming in one at a time. I was able to at least print them out and hand deliver them if I could hand deliver them. Listen, I venture to say that most of the demonstrations and the tests that you all have been through, we've been through them at least once. But we gain our peace, or express our peace rather, because it comes from within us. We express our peace about whatever the test is immediately, and that's where the time for the testing is greatly reduced the moment we get peace about it. Though colonization is not coming back just because you take 2 weeks to not send any affidavits. It's not coming back. It's not coming back. It's done. It's finished. It's finished. There's no more of that.
Islam, Empress?
Islam.
I think I just saw it open for Empress Shasha. I have not left. So just letting you know.
Ah, so they pretending to be Empress Nana. Well, let's see. Thank you for that, Empress Shasha.
You are very welcome. I saw that and said, hang
on. Islam, Empress.
Islam.
That I actually, I actually asked you to open because I had a call. I had a message from Shas or a call from Shas. I thought she was calling me to say, ask you to open the meeting, but she wasn't. She was calling to see whether I was in. So, my apologies for that one.
I love that you all are just looking out for each other. I love that. It's beautiful. I love it. So, all systems are already ours. I'm telling you, they are. But see, the ancestors sometimes have us not put things on the public record so that people won't try to jump over the things that they need to do in order to manifest what they're seeing. You know, because there's a process, and you have to, if you haven't done the 40 documents, or at least done the currency controller document along with proclaiming nationality, how are you going to see somebody demonstrate $100 million and you try to get there and you haven't done those things first? But after a while, then the ancestors say, okay, now, first tell them to go ahead and finish those 40-something documents. Finish them. Get them done. Get them out of the way. Get them done. Write them yourself because nobody can write them for you. Don't try to get someone else to do your 40-something documents. And Moors don't accept payment from somebody to do their 40-something documents because they're not. If they don't write the documents, they're not going to be able to enforce them. They won't know what the documents say. They won't be able to stand and demonstrate. The ancestors are showing us that we must do our own work here. This is not like the previous era where we were babies and we had to have a lawyer speak for us. We're not juveniles. So anyone trying to get you to do paperwork for them, don't waste your time. Don't waste, it's a waste. It's a waste of time. They have to do it themselves.
You're a fucking minority, and that's all you'll ever be. That's it. You're a minority.
Well, I guess that means we're the majority because they speak in opposites. Now, over the coming weeks, we're going to continue showing what we show. But here's the thing that gave us peace when the ancestors said, don't put that on the record yet. Because at first we were feeling like we don't keep anything from the nation. Everything has to. But the ancestors stated to us that when everyone reconnects with their ancestral or activates their connection, because we're always connected to the ancestors. As each one of us activates the connection, which we've already done, then the same information that the ancestors gave us, they will give to you. And in some ways, it'll be a little bit different based on your experiences, but it will achieve the result that you will for it to achieve. Where banking is concerned, the same information that I have, you all already have it. It's just that some have not seen the manifestation of it and others have. Every one of you who has been a part of this Congress already knows how to put $100 million in the bank. and have it show up. You all know how to do it already. It's just a matter if you're willing to do the documentation and clear the energy. Because see, what's eventually going to happen is you're not even really going to be looking at a system. You're just going to be sending documentation and keeping good records. And the system is going to do exactly what you tell it. Just like it's doing for us. This system is doing exactly what we tell it to do. We've decided to keep our wits about us and our wits and our consciousness and our minds about us and just continue to take our time and make things happen. Do you know why the ancestors seem to sometimes take a long time to give you the answers and things? It's because we're eternal and so are they. And they are eternal through us. Listen, we have all the time in the world. We have all of eternity. This is a
and
time
your husband lets you believe whatever you want to believe. Your
Listen to, you know what, when you listen to the court jesters, if you can see through what they're saying, they're always telling you you're doing all the right things. So, are there any questions, comments, wisdom about any of the things that we stated thus far? Everything has to be restated. That's the key. That's the formula for getting things done. We must be doing things in peace because we are not at war. We're not at war. We're not at war. So any anger or frustration that you had about the modern ones and those pretending to be offices and officers and all of that, let it go. Because guess what? Everything has switched, and the office and the system is the trustee. But it has to be the office and the system that we created. And now you're going to see things move even quicker. You have to know how to speak to your trustee so that a fake won't answer. You have to know how to speak to the real subjects in the office of police so that fakes won't answer. Because all of that's subject to you. And you got to pay them. And it can be done. We got the money. That's not a, money is like so far down on the list of things that we have to do. We have as much of that as we could ever imagine. That we could imagine. If you can imagine the whole earth filled with money, we got 1,000,000 times that plus exponentially. So that the money is not the problem. It's not the problem. It's not the problem. Getting energies right is the problem. And it's not a problem, it's a solution. Get the energies right so that as you craft all of your affidavits, you're crafting it with the right spirit. And sometimes the ancestors will give us a break in what we're doing so that we can get our energies right. Because when the ancestors removed all of the supplies from me at that time 4 or 5 years ago and gave me time to breathe, it was because I was thinking, ancestors, we're going to do everything that you say and we're going to get it all done today. And they were like, you got time, Light, just relax. You rushing and carrying on, relax. Your estate is not going anywhere. Just relax, take it easy, so that you can breathe, so that you can hear, so that you can peacefully and effectively write. Peacefully and effectively write. Can't be mad at the face down the way, that because see, as trustees, those faces are going to look like yours and mine. We can't war with our brothers and sisters. That's why you see them putting Moors, sleeping Moors, and you think they're asleep. Some of them are awake. And as we continue to speak to them, they're going to continue to wake up. We can't be going back and forth with them like that. Those are our brothers and sisters. They're part of the trust. Are there any questions, comments, wisdom from any of the nobility?
Islam.
Shall I go ahead?
You want the English to go?
Justice Harold, it's up to you. You spoke first, so it's up to you.
I'll yield.
Will the Empress go ahead?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Stop. Hold it. Empress Shasha, before you speak, Justice Harold, we honor you for what you just did. It's important. We're the nobility, all of us. We must honor each other that way. Thank you, Justice Harold, for that. Empress Shasha, Islam. I yield the floor.
I unmuted myself again.
Yes.
So I was doing some research, and I discovered that the Jamaica Post Office was created in 1671. And
that means banking was created for us in 1671, Empress?
Exactly. I was just like, I literally was, and I've been, I mean, I can certainly affirm and attest to things, you know, chewing on things, like looking for answers,
yes.
seeking truth, and out of the blue, when I, or it seems as if I put it down and I've changed direction for a minute to just let it go.
Yeah.
I put something up and I was absolutely just, yeah, I was just, wow, that's said so much.
Yes, do you know what that means? That means that you are the only one, because you know who you are. You have the ancient documents, and all of that have to come from you. And the Moors that are awake there. You and Justice Kyle, I believe. Justice Anthony. Yes. You all are the only ones that can actually get the post office to do something.
I mean, yes, and that's why I've been, it's like, okay.
That's why your tests were the way that they were, Empress, because you're the head of banking, earth-wide.
That's the piece that was just,
yeah. I sent you a text message. Did you get my text?
Today, let me check it.
Yeah.
Because I responded to you, and I even responded no, it hasn't come through. May I call you after? I'll call you, and we can see if I can figure this out.
Yes.
Okay, I'll send it to that one then.
Yeah.
I'll send it to that one and see.
Okay.
Yeah. Empress Shasha, we can hear you. Can you all hear me?
No, she's definitely having some.
I could hear her.
Can you?
Islam,
I can't hear her too.
I think that the one that you is ending is 57. That's his number.
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing that one?
Yeah, I see it.
Yes, 57.
That's also live.
Okay.
Do you have many numbers?
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and send to that one. For some reason, let me see. One thing we're not afraid of is when communications and things start to seem like they're doing all types of stuff. We don't even worry about it. We just put some good energy on it and keep moving. We cannot be stopped. Islam. Okay. Islam. Justice Kansu, Islam, we hear you. If you could speak up just a little louder, Justice Kansu.
Is that any better?
That's better.
Okay. Can you put me on the list to make
yes.
statement?
Yes. Did I get that right, Justice Kansu?
A-N-K-H.
H, that's right. Islam. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. Listen, Moors, and I probably should actually put in parentheses my sovereign-born appellation.
Islam.
Islam, Empress.
One moment. Sorry.
Okay. Now, we were going to have testaments about things going on in the territories. Moors, if you're experiencing emotions, frustration, anger, whatever it is, now is the time to clear all of that. Please clear it, because the wealth is here. It's already here. It's already here. Just picture a bunch of wealth just hanging out, waiting for somebody to put their hand out and say, okay, come on, you can come. You can come now.
Islam.
Pardon.
That was some timing. Phone ringing anyway. So, yeah, I would just like to see if yourself, Empress Navi, and Empress what is Proclamation? Karima has time, like maybe for like 15 minutes after the call, to just briefly speak about some things that was mentioned earlier. If that's possible today.
Sure.
Okay. If the other empresses is okay with that, that would be great.
It's fine. Of course.
It's fine. Very well.
Empress Shasha, if you're able to meet afterward. And you said, who else, Empress Angel?
Karima, Navi,
and Shasha.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me send just one moment.
The whores of Babylon are going to have a little party. The whores of...
Woo. Boy, Babylon is mad. Babylon is mad.
So at this point, are we speaking about, the fires that's been happening and the flooding?
We can. Because, again, when you talk about putting people out, okay? Because that's really what Moors were asking about in 2017 and 2018 and 2019. They were just like, we want them off our land. We want them off our land. Well, when we get peaceful and get competent, we told y'all that was going to happen. The land is being completely cleared. Knowing that that's an enactment and that our land is already holy. Now, Empress Angel, one of the things that we noticed about that whole thing is that you got actors getting on TV, and it's actors, actual actors, getting on TV, knowing they were in foreclosure, knowing they couldn't afford to stay at those houses any longer. All of them were bankrupt, all of them. But the difference being, if you're the head of the bank and you're bankrupt and your bank can't even help you, what do? Burn it down. You can't stay in it, can't do that because you're bankrupt. You can't pretend to be the bank anymore because the real bank is here. You can't borrow another dime. So what do? You and all your banker buddies that were acting like they were the bank and acting like they had the money, they were acting like they owned everything, got together and said, okay, we can't go any further because the Moors are speaking. They've taken over the banks and everything. So now, just a moment. So now we got to burn it down. That's the only thing left to do is burn everything down. They were so happy to see those houses go up in smoke because they couldn't afford them anyway. And it's been a burden for them to try and keep that going. Justice Anthony.
Yes, pardon me, Empress. In regards to the fire, Spirit also showed me that it wasn't just to clear the way, it was also to purge it.
Yes. Yes. And so were the floods.
Indeed, Empress.
See, this was prophesied when in the holy books our ancestors said that the former and the latter were going to combine in this day. So the former was flood. That was Noah, flooding and floods and all that. That was the former. That was before. The latter, which is now, is the fires. They were going to combine. So you got all up and down the East Coast flooding, and you got all up and down the West fires, except it's not in this jurisdiction. It's not in our jurisdiction. Hollywood, land of make-believe. Yes. Empress Minerva, that is so brilliantly stated because that's exactly what you're seeing. If you can't carry on the fraud any further, just either burn it down or remove the dams and flood it.
Islam, Empress Light, sorry to interrupt you again.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be able to open for Empress Shasha, please?
Yes.
This time it's for real. She got kicked out.
Islam.
Islam.
Yep. So again, if you can't if there's no other paper you can float to have people thinking that you got all the money and all the wealth and everything, burn it down. And they're talking about embers jumping from one in their enactment, jumping from one place and then it'll jump way over there. That's just another somebody setting it on fire because they can't afford it in their enactment. So they just burn it down, and anything that don't burn, they flood it. They were all in foreclosure and bankruptcy anyway. They just didn't have any place to go. And when I say no place to go, what I mean by that is they have to get in subject status because there's no other place under the fraud system that could help them, because every part of it is bankrupt. All of it's bankrupt, not just some of it. And again, more, that had to do with us. We knew this day would come. We knew that they couldn't stay here. We knew that. When we say what we say and make the statements that we make and we put the laws in place, the system is going to do what it does. It's going to system. And guess what? Some of them are saying they had to leave so fast that they can't find mortgage documents and stuff. All that stuff got burnt. But they got pictures of Grandma and Fido in their enactment, which I think is just okay. So now what happens with all of that land? The jurisdiction is changed once it's destroyed anyway. It can no longer be what they called it because they don't own the earth. So any structures were removed. The structures are removed. Now it's the land. And just as Harold said, some trees left standing in the midst of all that fire. Mm-hmm. So, Morris, listen, it's just a matter of a moment or two. Our wealth is already here. All we have to do is keep doing what we're doing, which is demonstrating peacefully, being ourselves peacefully. You think anybody's going to be able to deny you a domicile when you have 100 million that you can prove you have? That's number one. Number two, you know the process to claim it, and you have the title. There's no one with the authority to deny you that when everything is peaceful. And just like with Justice Harold and Empress Shasha, in some instances we're going to have to say, you know what, nobility, you go ahead and you got that. You go ahead and have it. I'll just do something over here. Even though we don't really even have to do that, we have so much land. And listen, they're talking about fires. Ain't nobody saying nothing about how quote unquote courthouses with all those records in it got burnt up too. Well, if that place got burnt up and all those fake records got burnt up, and you left the quote unquote mortgage documents because see, a mortgage document just proves you don't own it anyway, because you have a mortgage and no title. So, Moors, they're showing you right to your face that everything is yours as you continue to prepare to receive and prepare, know how to use the wealth, know how to move that wealth back and forth. They're telling you to your face it ain't their stuff. It's not their land.
Islam,
Empress.
Yeah, I was just watching an episode of Tiny House Nation, and when you see the so-called enactment of a movement of how many people are, giving up their so-called houses and buildings and such to go into an RV or a camper or convert a bus into a home or convert a van into a house and, you know, those things of that nature. And then you start to think about, like, they say that they own the structure, but then they have to pay rent for the land, which means that they can pick up the structure that they may have used fiat for, but then where are you going to put it if you don't own the land?
Well, and that's the thing, Empress. Everything that we put on the record these last 7 years is manifesting right in front of our very eyes. So how can we say, no one can say we're not the law? It's manifesting en masse. It's not even like one or two. It's everywhere that the things that we've stated is manifested.
Yeah, it's the tiny house is they call it a nation, but anyway, but it's a thing that's gone worldwide where people are saying I'd rather have house experience rather than a house, because they say that the mortgages and all of that, like, they're nailed down someplace, but we know the real reason why is because the land has been taken back by the people, and they have to go somewhere anyway, not just there. You have to go.
And here's the thing. What they're really saying, too, is they would rather live meagerly and free under the authority of the Moors than trying to tap dance for some bankers and pretend like they own some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd rather live in a tiny house on our land than try to move someplace else to a castle that they don't own anyway, still.
So what's again, everybody going to say when there's no money deposited into their account?
So, listen.
Didn't Pauline have her Land Rover?
Everything that we've ever willed to have is available to us now. Everything. It's still going to be a process. We still have to write about it. We still have to write the law. We got to keep our heads about us. The ancestors did things the way they did it, and it's real clear to me now, so that when the wealth is manifested, because it's already manifested, that we don't go crazy. And that we don't run back to slavery. That's the only holdup for any of you. And when I say you, I mean the only holdup is you. Now, some they'll get mad at that, and they'll, but they just don't know who God is. And I am not going to try
on First Avenue.
I'm not going to continue to try and justify that either, because we have to grow past that, getting mad at the word. Listen, the responsibility is 100% ours.
You just keep lying and lying and lying.
100% ours. The system will do whatever we freaking tell it to do. And I don't mean freaking tell it, but whatever we state. That's why they say don't get into your emotions, because you'll start using words that you don't need to use. So take this week, this Moorish American week, to clear energies, release the energies. Send the anger energy to some of the Moors that are sleeping so that they'll wake up. Because there's a place for anger energy, but it has to be in this proper place. Send the fear to those who aren't now they're not afraid to say Negro, black, they're Negro, black, colored, and African American. Send the fear to them. It's a place for it. It's just not with us. Did you think that the ancestors were going to get you all the way out here and leave you hanging? No. And if you thought that, clear your energy.
You're proud to be black. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm proud to be black. That's what I'm saying.
Y'all see that? They've even taken their status back.
That's right.
Islam, that was the best news.
Talk about your Land Rover, Pauline. How come you never talk about your field?
They even took their status back in front of all of you.
Boy, if you want.
Did you hear it?
The prophet said he was going to make them tell the truth.
But you know what? They had to be facing death.
Truth about your Land Rover.
They had to be facing death. They had to be facing death. So, of course, they're proud to be black. Now, listen. Again, we don't have to make them do anything. All we got to do is mind our business, and they'll do it. They'll do exactly what we tell them. Believe that. That's why they can't be our focus. It's easy. There's the easy part.
Last September, I'm still here.
They're the easy part. Stay focused on the systems and on your will and
Ain't
what
no
you
commands
will
you can give me, bitch.
for your systems.
I'm still here, bitch.
For your systems. Stay focused on your systems. Don't let them pull you away with feelings and emotions and all of that. They're not talking to you anyway. Are there any other questions, comments, wisdom? Because that's really, we're prepared for next week, for the next strong rather. And then after that, we'll speak some more about, this is the Empire State Address listing.
Angel, where's your free conveyance, honey?
Here it is. Islam.
Islam. I better get this question asked before I forget. Governing city by affidavit, there's like 14. One dealing with Bureau for Fiscal Service, fiduciary, direct deposit information. Do you can you point me to the Congress? Well, the Congress for that covering that particular information.
I wish I knew each one individually. I wish I knew each one individually, but I don't.
Do you remember about what time you covered the Bureau for Fiscal Services? Was that in the summer? Was that like?
The video will most likely say something about fiscal services.
I didn't see that particular part of the title.
It's been about a year and a half.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can look back.
Islam.
Thank you, Empress.
Yeah,
Islam
nobility.
I don't know if you can recall. If possible, could you please point me to the video regarding the merchant card, if you can? I know it's kind of tough to remember, but there's so many. I've been trying to find it. I've searched and searched. I can't find it.
Can someone assist him with finding the videos about the merchant card? It should have a merchant card as the thumbnail. I do remember doing that, putting the merchant card as the thumbnail.
Islam,
Empress.
I believe that video might have been 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little further than 2 years.
If someone could go back and look.
Right.
And see where, yeah. Thank you, Empress Yamia. Let me just say this. We had to create the method by which the wealth comes to us and by which we tribute the wealth. That's what all of that is about. Merchant cards, bank accounts, restating, all of that. Wealth, and I'll just say this because it's in my notes and I didn't get to even half my notes this time. Wealth, let me just say a few things about that. Oh, wealth takes just as much discipline as poverty. Did you know you have to be disciplined to be poor? Because you can't have everything all whenever you will to have it. So you have to be disciplined to even be poor. Wealth is the same way. You have to be disciplined to be wealth, because when you have as much of what you love the most, whether it be what you love to eat, what you love to do, whatever it is, if you have as much of that as you will to have, you're still going to have to mete it out to yourself you're going to have to take your time with it. Right? So you get to choose. And where we are right now, everybody is choosing where they're going to be. If you've created by affidavit the way for the wealth to come to you, then you've chosen wealth as your future and your present. If you're sleeping on those 40-something documents, okay, hey, we can't tell you what to do. But we just know that we don't expect to hear any complaining as we continue to enjoy our wealth if you haven't done the work and created it for yourself. And then cleared your energy, because that's some work too. Why would I be mad at those who must serve us? Why would I be mad at them? I'm not mad at them. Because even in our sleep, they were still serving. They were just charging for it. They were still serving. They were showing you how your system is supposed to work. That's what they were doing. And they were showing you that you have the authority to stop anybody from accessing anything, I don't care how long it's been empty. That no, people can't just walk up and claim something just because it's empty. Empty and abandoned are two different things. So if we have our vacation domicile in Jamaica, next door to Empress Shasha, and we're not there for a while, no stranger can come up and just be like, oh, this has been empty for a whole year. This is mine. I'm going to claim it. No, Empress Shasha is not going to let that happen. We're not going to let that happen. It's not empty. It is, we're there. We just happen to be here governing. All of those gigantic domiciles, all those big ones, huge ones, are awaiting our arrival. Everybody already moved out of them. Go through some of those neighborhoods, and you'll see.
Pardon me, Empress.
Islam, no baby.
Caliph Muhammad is asking to let him in, please.
Islam.
Islam.
Justice Anthony, I thank you for doing what you're doing where they can call you. I'm so glad you all have a system. A system.
I was just thinking that as well, Empress. Like, amongst all of us, we know at least a handful of people that we can contact to get into the meeting.
And everybody should have at least one or two numbers that you can call.
It is my pleasure, Empress.
Listen, that's our sons doing what they do best too. Now, wait a minute. Hold it. Let's give that glory and credit where it's due. Islam. Islam. Another thing about wealth. When you go out onto YouTube and different places, about 2 or 3 years ago, you would see a bunch of people preparing for poverty. I don't see so much of that now, and it could just be, because we've spoken so on the public record that the public record is starting to reflect or show us what we've spoken. But we don't see anybody still talking about prepping and putting away canned goods, hiding them under the crawl space of the domicile and getting tents ready and all of that. We don't see any of that going on. Hardly. What we see now is people. We also don't see people preparing for homelessness. Because, see, that's what was happening previously, is that people were preparing. Now, hear me when I say this. Whew. All of those prepping videos is exactly what we told you that they were. Those people who put those videos out knew that the floods and the fires were coming and that they were going to be unhoused out of those houses. They have a place to go. Don't get it twisted. They got places to go. So we're not cruel and mean because we don't want a bunch of homeless people on our street. Now, let's make that clear. Nobody should be homeless here on our land, subjects nor Moors. But it's up to the Moors to make that happen. So all of that prepping and putting away canned goods and stuff, and listen, if they put canned goods away and their house burnt down and it's rubble, the canned goods ain't helping them no way. So now they have to go to the places where people have that. And make no mistake about it, we're going to continue to assist in feeding everyone, making sure everybody has what they will to have. But it's got to be all of us doing that, okay? It's got to be all of us, all hands on deck, all hands helping, assisting one another. That's what the millions and millions and millions of dollars is for, is to uplift everyone. Yes, we're going to have the best conveyances and the best domiciles and all of that because we have to have that.
Where's your Land Rover then?
Necessity. It's a necessity.
Remember what Phoenix said?
It's a necessity.
Where's your fucking Land Rover?
And that's the
Land Rover necessity, right?
That's the easy part. The easy part.
Where's your...
So, Moors, listen, all of the things that we showed you how to write checks, how to create and craft your own checks. We showed you how to do legacy accounts and things of that nature. And for those of you who have done the legacy account documentation, but your account is not open for you yet, just keep doing what you're doing. The ancestors have already given the answer, the keys. We have all of that. We have to know that when we see the key, that the key must come from us in order for it to work. Because you'll see a key, but that's not the real key. The key has to come from you. And that's the only hesitation right there. If some people will see 100 million or 10 million in the bank, and they'll be like, oh, ready to spend, but you haven't restated it. You have to restate it so that you can use it, so that everything that you buy is in the proper jurisdiction. Not buy, but exchange is in the proper jurisdiction, so that nobody can come and take it and claim that, oh,
is it after such and such o'clock? Turn the light on, like it's,
you know. So, with that being stated, everybody ought to be able to see that foreign occupiers are removed and continuing to remove and be evacuated and evacuated out. We see that. Is there anyone on this at Congress who hasn't quite seen that? Yes, they got to go, and they know they got to go. Who can't see that? Yes, everything is as we stated. Justice Adrian Porter put something in the chat, and again, it's more of truth. He said that he put his 40 documents on the public record 2 years ago, and he began creating after that. He said you cannot, just one moment, just a moment. Let me make his words clearer. So we can see them. He said you cannot control what you did not create. All commerce is based upon allodial title, facts. From his court, so that's from each one of our courts, Article 3 is international court. Yes, it is. And then he said he shut shit down. Those are his words. He said he was there to see it for himself. He is true and living proof. The fake actors had no power, no jurisdiction over Article 3 courts when you speak the law competently. Yes, Justice Adrian, we affirm your word, your holy word. We affirm that. And more are seeing that it has to be done by court action. Let me say something about power and authority. In the previous era, we had authority, but no power. Our signature was the authority, but we didn't have any power. That's where the actors came in at and brought their guns and batons and their, all of their war instruments and things like that. Because we had authority, all we had to do was sign something. That's the authority, but it was giving power to actors. Now we have both power and authority. First comes a clean, clear, living signature. And then the system is the authority. Now look, our systems are natural and bigger than anything that anyone could ever imagine. What system do you know of that can put 500,000 actors out of a place that they shouldn't have been in the first place, really? Except we gave them authority to be there. What system do you know can get them out faster than what you're seeing? Floods and fires is moving actors out of the way. Floods and fires is moving actors out of the way en masse. En masse. Now, please don't get in your feelings about me saying that, about, oh, people are suffering. You suffered too. You did your share. We all did our share of that. So don't come to me with feelings about suffering. We've been there. We did that. We're now talking about truth and law. And truth and law is love. That's how you love properly. That's how you clear that energy. Speak the law and the love will come. Speak the law and the love will come. I have nothing further for this amazing and just, you all have, this Congress has really done it. This Congress has really done it. We are looking forward to when the ancestors give us the okay to put some more things on the public record about how everything is at our will, then we'll put it on the public record. But right now, everyone, please get the 40 documents done and begin demonstrating who you are. Because see, there are some that are only going to declare their nationality. They'll never know. The 40-something documents gives them the, or not gives them, but states their authority. They have to know their authority. They have to know it. And that's going to take continuing to write. The scriptures. That's why the Bible is so thick. Somebody just kept writing. And now there are people who don't live without reading it every day. And they didn't even write that. We're actually writing the Bibles. Every affidavit is holy scripture. So we have to keep going.
Islam,
Empress.
Empress, I was on a call with one of my heirs. Did I hear something about a meeting afterwards involving me?
Yes, Empress Angel requested that me, you, her, Empress Shasha, and Empress Nabi stay after Islam. So with that being stated, listen, some divine laws that we will state: preparation always precedes promotion. All wealth is given only to the prepared hand. The little that you had was to be used to prepare for the extreme wealth that is now yours. Did you use what you had to build what is necessary to accept your wealth? Wealth is strategic. It is not random. You have made it through testing for the most part. Now is harvest time. Harvest is work also. So yes, the testing is work. The preparation is work. Accepting and using the wealth is work too. It's just beautiful work that we love to do. Harvest is work, but it is worth the energetic endowment and investment. The short, temporary lack season manifested from within us gratitude, discipline, stamina, creativity, and resourcefulness, and is now in favor for abundance, wealth, and prosperity. So those times where we felt lack, it manifested in us peace, gratitude, discipline, stamina, creativity, resourcefulness, and the ability to enjoy abundance and wealth and prosperity, because all of that is here now. This age that we have created is the age that our knowledge, bloodline, authority, and power will open all doors for us that no one can shut, and it will shut doors that no one can open. Already done. Our wealth is a divine covenant that we made with our ancestors to land here, to prepare the way, and to open the gates and portals for our prosperity to be uncovered, so that we make the way ready for our greatness and for our own coming generations of emperors and empresses, and in honor of all ancestors since time immemorial. And number 9, we are fully equipped. Fully equipped. We have every tool we need for wealth, abundance, prosperity, and the ability to tribute, vest, and dispense the stated resources with precision, provision, and sound decision. Islam.
You've got 20.
Islam, I affirm.
Islam, indeed. And let me just say this. When you think about it, and, you know, this is just it was a seemingly random thought, but not really. Did you know that every job interview that you've ever done was a court action on you? Is everyone aware of that? Every job interview that you've ever done was a court action to guarantee jurisdiction over you. That's why they would call security and have you to pack your things, and the security would escort people out as they were firing people and letting people go and calling actors policy enforcers on people and telling you when to come and when to go, when to be here, when not to be here, what to do and how to do it. Every job interview was a court action. The first thing they did was identify you as their person and then proceed to rule over you. Is everyone clear on that? Islam.
Yeah, pardon me, Empress. Could you open for Empress Amora, please?
Yes, Islam.
Got it.
Is everyone clear on that? That job interviews and court actions are the same thing. And some of you, Islam nobility, some of you had a panel of 3. Generally, for example, when we would go in, especially for managerial positions, we would have a panel that we went, you know, a panel, and each of the panel members exercised a specific type of jurisdiction. One of the panel members might have been for security. Another one of the panel members might have been for subject matter expert. Another one might have been the supposed director of the whole place or whatever. And then they usually brought someone from another place or territory in, and in the managerial perspective, and they interviewed us that way. An interview is the word. That means looking in.
Holy shit!
You see what I'm saying? It's looking. Interview is the same as interview. So another something that I had in my notes was about the people, us, this restatement piece. The people were always supposed to be the holders and owners of their contracts. Always. We were never supposed to have others hold contracts for us. And when you really think about it, it was the quote-unquote Federal Reserve debt system, the U.S. Federal Reserve debt system, that was supposed to be holding the contracts anyway. There was not a people there. There was persons there. DTCC, they were pretending to hold contracts. We were always supposed to craft, create, make, originate, generate, and then activate our own contracts. And always it's called perfection by, what is it called?
Oh, you got 20. Oh, that's nothing.
It's called
perfection by control.
Yes, Empress, thank you. I knew you would come up with it. thank you, possession by control. That's how you perfect a security, is you control it. So we were never supposed to have others having that. Because, see, when we control and hold our own contracts, that is what makes us the Lord and Savior over our own lives and over our own assets and our own estates, our own heirs, our futures, our present, and our past. See, we control our past too, because we're writing that also. Now, that's another something that we've not done a whole lot of, about talking about our past and writing it the way it's supposed to be told. Because, see, to the victor goes the ability to state what really happened. Our past is this, in a nutshell. We agreed and volunteered to go to sleep. It was never imposed on us. There was never any force used until after we decided and agreed and enacted to go to sleep. That's when the force came. We agreed to that. And now we're awake, we stand, and guess what? Everything has changed. Everything has changed. Our land is almost completely cleared. That just means it's ready, and at any time, when the process is there and the timing is right, we can start going, and we're there now. We know that. We're aware of that. We can start going and looking around and seeing what buildings and what structures that, and let me just tell you that the most important structure is always going to be the government structure first. Yes, domiciles. Yes, go and look at domiciles and go and put your documentation in and do the demonstrations. Yes, do that. With the thought in mind, because listen, nobody can come and kick your door in when you got a big old government building nearby and you're and everything and everyone is doing things and government is issuing laws and things. Nobody come and kick your door in knowing that you are the government and you got this, the government is manifested. They can't do it now, just so that you're aware. And listen, if you're not programming yourself throughout the day, because this is minute to minute to minute to minute, if you're not doing the programming of yourself, somebody else is. Because there's no time that we are hearing and seeing things that there's not some programming going on. That should tell you what to watch and what not to watch based on where you are in your programming. Some of us can watch anything and it's still not going to get past this holy filter. We're still always going to know that everything is about us and everything belongs to us and we restate everything. We know that. But some people will watch somebody pretending to do a speech and calling themselves a governor or a president, and they don't, that's not who that is. That's an actor. That's an actor. No, they don't govern over you. They don't govern over grocery stores or canned goods either. Or streets either. That's all on us. All of that is us. All of us together. So think about that throughout the day when you're watching things. And if you see that you're drawn to negative videos, one after the other, after the other, after the other, and they're like, oh, a flood over here, oh, a fire over here, oh, so-and-so, Congress said this and Congress said that, and it's not us and you, then turn the dial on your spirit to a higher frequency. Yes, Justice Adrian, we affirm your word indeed in the chat, Islam. So those are some of the things that we're going to show you some important banking things. Before we show these banking things, we're just telling you now, please get your energy cleared. You cannot be mad at the subjects. You can't be mad at anyone. You can't even be mad at yourself. You actually have to forgive yourself first before you can even forgive any subjects. You have to forgive yourself first for everything that took place in the previous era, the enactment. And I'll say this in conclusion of this portion of our Congress. If in the previous era you were not a good steward over your resources, you must forgive yourself for that. And we've stated that before, but I would like for us to take just a moment for each one of us in our spirits to forgive ourselves for anything that happened in the previous era. Anything, I don't care what it was, I don't care what it is, anything that happened in the previous era that was not what you willed for your life to be. Because sometimes we will look at things, just one moment, Empress, we will look at our lives and say, well, did your life end up the way you wanted it to end up? It's not ended, first and foremost. It never ends. That's the first trick bag to that question. That's an incompetent question. And the second thing is, we're the heads of everything and we're the wealthiest ever. So all of those efforts in the previous era to get a little scratch here, get a little piece here, get a few dollars here, blah, 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 whatever, all of that, forgive yourself for all of that stuff. If you had problems with substance abuse in the previous era, listen, there is even a duality to that. Our ancestors used alcohol and plants and things like that. We use that to just enjoy and to heal and to soothe and to just commune with one another too. So, but it has to be in the proper jurisdiction and it has to be the natural right stuff. And that's for those who choose that. Some of us, we just like our spirit the way it is, you know. But you can't be mad at yourself or each other or others. So if you had a mother who was on drugs or whatever, you got to forgive her. From that previous enactment, you have to forgive. Moors, the wealth is here. You have to forgive your families because your kin, your clans, anything that they did that you didn't like, that you're mad about, you got to let that energy go. All of that energy has to go. And let me say this, because I know I'm going to step on some toes with this one. If you were the one who, like, you know how the families get they have the little family thread where everybody is texting in to the group, the family group. And when you put something in there, don't nobody say nothing, don't nobody like it, don't nobody comment. But then when others say something, everybody's like, oh yeah. Just know that there was a reason for that too. It was just to kind of ground you, to keep you in a certain place, not to distance you from your family, but to keep you grounded so that when this time came, you don't have to be mad at them. You don't have to be mad at them. They're going to need you. They're going to need you. And let me tell you, all the ones, yes indeed, nobility, all the ones who did really well in the family and things like that, they got the biggest house, they got the biggest, best cars and all of that stuff, they're going to need you. because the transition is happening for everyone, not just a few. And so now, just one moment, Empress. Now we don't focus on them and what they're going through. I don't focus on my kin and what they're going through. I notice it, I see it, I'm not blind to it. But I know that I'm creating the way, so I have to keep moving. I have to keep doing what we have to keep doing what we're doing. Islam, Empress.
We see evictions and foreclosures in your future.
So, it's a shame when you have to pretend to be all the stuff you're not. They're not pretending to have feminine voices. Can't be themselves and say nothing because ain't nobody gonna listen. So I know that clan members and cousins and friends and all of that, they're going to be going through their testing too, because the transition is happening for everyone. So we're just focused on what we're doing to make the way clear so that they will know how to get themselves out. Okay? So we can't even be mad at the ones with the best this and the best that, and all of this and that, and in our clan we were one of those too, but we're choosing to move forward and we were one, we have a domicile and conveyances and things. All of that's great. All of that is great that we have, but we're not sleeping on our nationality at all. And we already know that all of that stuff had to be restated. All of it had to be restated in order to keep it. You can't keep it if you don't restate it. And that's what you're seeing out there is those that were previously unlawfully occupying cannot keep what they have because it's not theirs. So some of them are just burning it down, knowing that we have all the resources to rebuild, to build things up. They know that the land is ours, all of that. So I'm hoping that everyone can see. And we are at that place where it looks like, okay, some of the Moors are saying, well, I'm homeless too. No, you're not. You're on your own land. And you're looking at them and the same thing is happening to them that happened to you. And some Moors are feeling like everybody is even, but it's really not. This is the turning point. This is the nexus. This is the point where we go ahead and demonstrate dominion and state and show dominion. That's where we are right now. It's important that we do that. So if there be nothing further from this Congress at this point, we'll continue governing after as well. We govern even in our sleep or previously. Islam nobility.
Just one general question. Have you noticed, anybody in the Congress noticed Venus looking like it's getting a little bit larger, or it's
yes, and brighter?
Me, it seems, yes. I just thought, I thought it, yeah, thank you. I thought I was losing it, but yeah.
You know what?
Just wondered about that.
Nobility, me and my Empress have been noticing that all the stars are getting brighter. All of them. We see stars blinking different colors and stuff over here that were way dull before, because I used to watch the sky before too. Everything is brighter. And the full moon was not even supposed to be until the 28th, and it's full out there now almost.
I was just going to say that's closer as well.
Everything, the whole sky, everything is manifesting.
I'm seeing the full moon too, Empress.
It wasn't supposed to be until the 28th of January.
I was going to mention it earlier on at the beginning of the Congress, but you had went into some discussions.
Yes, yes. Well, you know, nobility, because you intended to, the ancestors said, made it happen. The Congress wasn't going to end because you intended to do that, to make that statement.
Islam.
Islam.
And the moon, I realize the moon is up at midday or 4 o'clock and stuff like that. And I am showing people, and I stopped a lady one day and I'm saying, look up, the moon is up there. Have you ever seen that before? So yes, as the bibliothèque said, look up at the sky, look up and we'll see a lot of stuff. So yes.
Yeah. And I know empresses and emperors, I know that is that all the sky is doing is reflecting our energy. That's all the sky does. That's all the cosmos is for, is to tell everybody else what we're doing. That's really what the sky is for. That's what the moon is all about. It's very beautiful. It's just been so amazing. I absolutely love it. And are there any other questions, comments, any other thing that you've noticed at the territories or within the skies and things?
I think I have been looking up. That is something I have always been doing since as a child. The sky has always been something that I admire. And I can see, for a long time, like there is just this thing up there and you can see red lights. Yeah. So I know it's not a star and it is blinking, and I can see other color in there as well, and it is getting brighter, like it's getting closer.
Yeah.
So one of those days I was telling my sister, you see this is a spaceship, it's waiting for me.
And all of that is spiritual, Empress. If you will to go up, you can go up. If you will to, because see, I love it here at Earth, so I'm staying here. I decided we have dominion over the whole Earth, and we just gonna party right here.
I always would love to fly, and in my dreams, I always been flying in my dreams. So
yes. Justice Adrian said something really key in the chat. He said the sun and the moon out at the same time. Temple for the moon and the sun. The time is now.
True. Yes. I see that. That is true. That's what happened. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, indeed, indeed. I'm so grateful for all that is happening. It's all in our favor, just as we stated at the opening of this particular Congress.
Islam?
Everything that you're seeing is in our favor. Yes, Empress Cynthia. Indeed. Empress Cynthia, were you going to make a statement?
Islam. Sorry, I cut myself off. Islam to the Congress. Usually this time of year, we're knee-deep in snow. And it has been really sort of a hardship for the last few years. And my consort, my son and I, we spent months putting things together so that it will be easier when the snow came. We have absolutely no snow. It's January. There is no snow. It's like an early spring, and birds we haven't seen I didn't even know were here. So a lot of earth miracles are showing up. And I just wanted to share that. Islam.
Yes, indeed.
Love to the Congress.
Indeed. Thank you, Empress, for that. It's all in our favor. Everything is. We just keep moving. And we'll show you some more things. We'll put some more of our demonstrations up that we're doing so that you know that. But I think I'm sure that everyone knows now that we are who we've always stated we are, and it is what it is. We rule, we govern, all of that. If there be nothing further at this time from this Congress,
Islam
nobility.
I had a question. On the 19th, would it be possible to share a video for the portion of the 3 minutes?
Share a video for the portion of the 3 minutes.
Yes, for my presentation.
Sure. I don't see why not.
So I emailed you. Is that okay? So you can review it.
Let me think about that.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing that I'm thinking about, nobility, is the technical. Us not having technical difficulties or things like that.
Right.
You know, so this is my suggestion, and this is the reason I learned not to do videos when we're doing Empire State addresses. Is if you will keep a link to it and put the link in the chat as you're speaking, so that we can watch it after we see your statement. Make your statement.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's going to be better because we don't want to waste 3 minutes trying to get the thing to play and then that kind of thing. It'll be better if you just do the statement and then put the link in the chat and just mention that the link is in the chat, and we'll put the link under the video as well so that those who see your statement can watch the video too.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Islam. Islam, Empress.
I wanted to share. I think it was last Congress or the one before, but anyway, I had made a statement about private property signs being up near me. And the other day I went for a stroll along the beach, and all of a sudden I realized that these signs were no longer there.
Empress, listen.
You had made this statement. You said, don't worry, they're going to have to come down. And I literally was just went for a swim and everything else, walking back, and I was just like, wait a minute. Oh, my goodness. And it was just, not like, it was just like, there again. Affirmation, confirmation, our word is the law.
Yes. And listen, it manifests so quickly that it's crazy. It manifests so quickly. So quickly.
And that was the thing. It was like, what? Earth? I had to literally take pictures. I had to go back and just because I knew it was real, of course, but it was just like, wow, the movement, the speed in which, as you state, the manifestation. Yeah. And then I just wanted to add, the sky, the stars, I have noticed, as the Noble said also, that Venus in particular, but there's red lights and yellow lights and all sorts of lights, stars blinking and flashing. And Venus symbolizes love. And I think that brightness is a sign of the love that's really flowing in abundance from us, from all of us. And that's a switch also from the former era. And that's just something I see that makes sense to me, and I really think it's the universe speaking back to us, because it is us, as you stated earlier. But I just wanted to share that.
And then I've also noticed that Venus is moving closer to the moon, and then when the moon is crescent, it almost looks exactly like our crescent moon with the star. It's just beautiful.
Yes, it is. I mean, this, as you state, as we change and grow and expand and ascend, the cosmos is changing. And that's and we can see it. Yeah. We are it. Yeah. And we can see it because it's us. It is us. So it's a beautiful time.
It is a beautiful time. And you know what? All we have to do is relax and enjoy and just keep working, keep putting the word out there. Let me say this too. I'm finding, and I don't know if anyone else is noticing this, but any word that we put out there, any word, I could send something, and 3 days later, whatever it is that I sent about is manifested very quickly. So now we're just looking at things like our Grand Sheik told us. We were the connection between the spirit realm and this realm, and all we had to do was, and I mentioned this about 6 years ago. He said that we are the connection between the spirit realm and the natural realm, and that we have the ability to look into the spirit realm and see something, look into the natural realm and see what the natural realm needs to have manifested, look in the spirit realm and see it, and then bring it from the spirit realm into the natural by way of our affidavit. That's what our grand sheik told us early on. So we're seeing that to be the case. So with that being stated, we will adjourn this particular platform, and then the empresses that are going to be staying for the 5 or 10 minute meeting after, if you will just hold and be present, and then we will adjourn all others. Peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine heirs. We got this. Period. It's a wrap.
Peace and grand rising.
Islam.
Peace and grand rising. Peace and grand rising.
Peace and love.
Indeed. Islam. Indeed.
Islam.
Peace and love, and thank you.
Islam.